We're back with the next video. We're gonna go ahead and get this bumper painted for the E39 540i. We've been waiting for some paint and we also needed a bumper. Now we finally have the bumper. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing sanded down, primed, and then painted and put on the car today. The dog's out, just the real dog's out. Anyway, we're gonna get this thing ready for the car. Hopefully the car should be almost done today. We shouldn't need much more than, you know, just a few random touches. I think we need seat motors and a regulator. We might post it for sale and then possibly fix it while it's still being in the process of sold. But we're gonna get this thing sanded down and disassembled and get ready for some paint. Well, it's 110 degrees out and we got daylight. We are fully disassembled. We have a little bit of a scuff pad. We're going through and getting everything scuffed down out of the way. We have our trim pieces that need to be painted and scuffed as well. We have this disassembled mess right here. These parts aren't in the best condition, but the bumper's here. It is what it is. Can't really complain too much, but we're gonna try to get most of the scratches and the scuffs that are already in the bumper out. Hopefully that way the paint lays somewhat decently. We don't have high hopes for this. At the end of the day, it is just a base bumper and it's going on a beautiful car. Ain't that right, Eddie?
It's all right.
Some real mid. But I didn't really notice the damage, honestly, when we first took this off. And now,
okay.
Now that we're painting it, it looks, yeah, this is not gonna come out well. We're gonna make it look the best as we can possible for the sale. Other than that, whoever buys this car, expect to repaint this in a year or two, or just buy a new just buy an M-Tech bumper on Amazon or eBay and get that painted and it'll be all good.
New setting is gonna be the worst thing. Why do we do this?
We have the bumper as prepped as we're gonna have it. There's no point in putting all this time and prep into a bumper that's messed up and already got scratches and damage. So we're gonna leave it as is and fill this up with some primer, shoot the paint. We're gonna let it dry in the sun. I just hosed it down and wiped it off with a clean rag. It doesn't already look the best. Already can see areas where it needs to be cleaned more and it wasn't scuffed very well. But hey, it's a $250 car. The paint literally almost costs as much as the car, so we're gonna use quality paint on a terrible bumper. And our prep job is terrible, so hey, nice car you got. That's solid. That's our little collection right here. We couldn't afford the good.
Sponsor us.
We couldn't get the good fruit punch, so we got the Hawaiian punch.
I didn't get one.
Sorry. Anyways, we're gonna let this, I'm gonna clean it a little more. I can see some spots. I'm gonna clean it. About 1.5 cans of primer. I think is good enough. I don't want to go too crazy at it. I don't really think it needs it. There's already some spots on it. It's basically dry already. So the only thing really is right here. We have like some little plastic pieces that are coming off from the scratch. Only one other spot over here that had a kind of a chip and a little bit of a scratch, but other than that, it's really not terrible. You can definitely notice there's some spots that obviously would need to be worked and put in some filler just to make it all smooth, but there's no point in doing all that like we mentioned before. So it looks good enough, clean enough to paint it. We're gonna let it dry for a little bit. It's in the sun, and then we're gonna go ahead and start the base coat and get ready for clear coat. We finally have completed the front bumper. We should have gotten 3 or 4 cans. I only had him get 2. I thought it would be close to enough, but unfortunately, yeah, 2 is not enough at all. So it's not gonna come out that great. We put 2 cans of 2K clear on it, which was pretty much enough to cover everything, but we definitely needed 3 cans of paint to go over this. I don't know why, but those paint cans literally just run out immediately, seems like. But there's a lot of flake and sparkle in this. I'm not too sure how it's gonna match up with the rest of the car, but you can clearly see there's a lot of spots that did not come out good at all. So I guess we're gonna let it dry and we'll see how it turns out, but should dry up pretty quick and then we can mount it. For the trim pieces, I'm just gonna paint it random black and leave it uncleared because obviously he has black trim with the chrome upper piece, and we're not gonna match that, and we couldn't find it at the junkyard or any parts cars. So I'm just gonna throw matte black paint on that and leave it as trim black. Should be okay, and then we'll reassemble this and put it on the car and see how close it matches and see how bad this actually ends up drying. You can call it what you want. The project E39 540 is basically somewhat complete from an outside looking in. It is not great at all, but the bumper is on, it is painted, the trim is on. I do have to look for the other trim piece for the headlight. I'm not sure exactly where we placed it. If we were keeping this car for us, it would need a lot more work, but just to post this on Marketplace and basically get the car out of here, we don't want to have to repaint the whole entire fender, so we will throw in basically everything this car needs. I have in parts, and if someone is willing to pay the price and not basically just lowball us, I will give them everything they need for this car. I'm not sure what we're going to list it at, but the car is cleaned up and basically ready to go. The bumper mounting isn't the best because of this fender. It is what it is, and right here you can see that there is a little bit of a bigger gap, 100%, but without replacing and going down the rabbit hole of replacing basically everything that is in the front end and replacing, I don't know, maybe the whole clip, I'm not sure exactly what got bent or tweaked, but without going down a huge rabbit hole for a car that we're not keeping and we don't know what we're even going to get value, it's good for whatever it is now. I have all the parts for anybody who is interested in this car locally. Obviously black is kind of a hard car to match, but we gave it a quick wash, and this paint is surprisingly not terrible. It could use a buff and a polish. When it's wet, it looks absolutely amazing. Now that it's drying up, not the best, but when it's wet, it looks absolutely amazing. It ended up being almost a free rebuild with a $200 car, so I do have to button up a few more things. We're gonna get this thing posted for sale, start gaining some interest, and we'll negotiate and work out a deal with somebody. Eddie, what do you got to say?
If you're a subscriber and you want it, $4 grand flat, come take it.
They know what we pay for it. If you're a subscriber, we're gonna do you the favor and not sell you this car. If you see this on Marketplace, shh, don't say nothing. It's a great car. What does it have? It's only 125,000 miles, 03 automatic headlights. I haven't cleaned up the interior fully, but the tan interior is basically literally perfect. I hate tan interior, but this interior is so clean that I genuinely don't even mind it. The car does have sunshades and PDC. This car actually is in amazing condition for what it is. He's been daily driving it, and yes, you have. You've been daily driving it in 115 degree heat, and it's been actually doing completely fine.
AC goes cold.
Cold AC, aftermarket sound system. But you guys already know everything. This is not the sales pitch, but
You want it.
I was hoping the bumper would fit better, but again, there's just so many different things that we'd have to look at, and it's not really worth it. Fast forward like 24 hours. My boy Eddie left the house yesterday and sends me a picture on the way home. This car is no longer ready for sale.
The adventure continues.
Nice hood, nice windshield. There's a dent on the roof. There's multiple dents on the roof. And we have lost a kidney grill once again, even though I just put them in yesterday. And guess what? After all that, the hood does not open. So, not sure how we're even gonna get the hood open, but now on today's adventure, fixing the car that was legit posted for sale yesterday, ready to go, and now we have twice the amount of work to do. We basically just restarted. This is a whole new project. Was able to get the hood open. The only thing that was kind of in the way was this latch. Since the hood flew up and was dented in and holding the front end up, this was still stuck, being latched still in here. So pushing the hood down and then releasing it worked no problem. Now I'm trying to get that dent out. There's really no point in doing this. This is just purely a fake aesthetic look. We have someone coming to look at the car and they knew what happened. We had to update him and let him know, but we just want to make it a little bit better and not so noticeable. And now I'm going to just put pressure on it and see. Are you ready? I do apologize for the kind of randomness of this video. We did get the bumper painted, we got it on the car, and we got most of the stuff out of the way that kind of needed to be fixed. My camera kept overheating, so it was super hard to record and kind of have a steady video going. So I do apologize for the kind of random clips and the randomness. The bumper fitment wasn't perfect on the driver's side. I believe that most of the actual core support where he said he hit a curb, but I believe that it was something much more because of the fender damage and the brackets. So I think that if we were to replace most of the core support, it would have been basically a perfect fitment and wouldn't have much of an issue or a gap. But it was Eddie's car at the end of the day, and it was literally $250. So there's not the point of, it's not really worth going into depth and doing all of this stuff. If we were going to keep this and make this a perfect car, then of course I would have no problem doing this work. But again, it's not even my car. It's really not my call. He just wanted a quick flip and basically get a car, you know, fix it up good enough and sell it. The car mechanically is fantastic. It's great. It's low mileage. It's a good car. Just needs a couple more cosmetics things to be done. But we do have an array of parts now from the other parts car. So I have random stuff like the fenders. Those are metal E92 M3 side skirts. We have 2 boxes full of parts, the full front clip. I got a bunch of stuff in the way. I need to start working on the E39 M5s and getting these cars swapped over so this one can be fixed and sold. Absolutely a bunch of work going on. We got my ghetto toolbox now. But I do apologize for the randomness of the video. I wanted to come back and either do the ABS and the Avis Blue M5 next, or possibly the interior swap. One of those videos will be coming hopefully in the next 2 days or so. And Eddie's car, he drove home, and if you saw, I wasn't able to get an after clip. I don't know what happened. I think that we were waiting for somebody to pull up and I got distracted. I'll try to throw in a picture how it kind of looked after we took the dent out of the hood, but the hood release cable has been messing up because of the junction box. The junction box isn't clipping into the actual frame rail. Every time you pull the lever, the junction box kind of tweaks out and it doesn't open the hood. So I left his hood somewhat open, somewhat closed. We've been doing that like 10 times since he's left my house, and this time it flew up, and obviously you guys know what happened. So we try to fix it. The car is currently being sold as is, so I guess we'll see what happens, but we'll come back real fast with some E39 M5 content. We got ABS pump right here and some other goodies that need to be thrown on. I want to do some work on the Avis Blue, and of course this car is filthy and sitting, so we'll come back with some more content and some E39 content. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Do apologize for the kind of lack of an episode, you know, it really wasn't a good one, but I appreciate all you guys. So like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned. We'll come back with some much better content and some actually good content. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be back very soon. Thank you for everyone who watched, and we'll get back to you soon. Later, guys. I appreciate you.